Nation's Attic, finding authentic, antique, vintage diving helmets from the depths of the sea and the internet, serving the collector, investor, and museums worldwide. Nation's Attic is your source for what others want.
Hi, my name is Don, owner of the Nation's Attic, and today, straight from World War II, we have for sale a Siebe Gorman Royal Navy Admiralty Pattern antique diving helmet. Now, Nation's Attic handles more authentic antique diving helmets than anyone else in the world, but rarely do we get the opportunity to handle Siebe Gorman helmets. Primarily, the reason being is we're located in the United States, and these helmets made in London rarely make their way back here. Now, the individual we purchased this helmet from bought it in the 1960s in France and brought it back here to the United States as something as a display piece in his home, and he enjoyed it for many, many years. And then it came to the point to sell it, and we purchased it. Couldn't pass this particular helmet up, being such a great look and style. Now, as we mentioned earlier, this helmet is referred to as the Admiralty Pattern helmet, and this was extremely popular throughout the 20th century and used by the Royal Navy. And due to some clues that we'll show here in just a second, we feel that this helmet was used by the Royal Navy during World War II. Now, I'll zoom in here and kind of point out some of those clues for you here. The first one that we noticed was located right up here above the front window, and there's a stamp there called the broad arrow stamp. And in many cases, almost all the inventory, everything that the Royal Navy had was marked with this particular marking, the broad arrow. It's almost equivalent to the US Navy stamp found on Mark V helmets. Now, also on the inside of the breastplate neck ring, we've got the serial number to the helmet, but we also have what appears to be a stamp, almost a royal crown type stamp in there. It's pretty shallow and light, but we detected that as well. So something we wanted to mention. Now, an external clue up here that personally I found really interesting that gives this helmet just a unique insight into its history was a painted number up here, the number 27. And generally we found with helmets, especially helmets used in the military, they were marked with a color or a number. Just simply for inventory purposes to differentiate themselves. So this particular helmet was number 27, probably in the Royal Navy. It's just part of a large inventory of helmets they had. So that number is still, while fading just a little bit, is still clear up there. So really a cool detail, an original part of its history. Now, also lastly, the serial numbers on this helmet are consistent for the World War II time period as well. Now, speaking of the serial numbers, this particular helmet, as with a lot of Siebe Gormans that we found in the past, the serial numbers are not matching on the top and bottom, but they're close. And this is just something commonly found with these particular helmets. The top up here, the breastplate, has a serial number in the mid 16,000 range. The bottom down here has a serial number in the high 15,000 range. Now, the brails, which there's two on this style of helmet, are matching, and they're matching to the breastplate here. The other part that was serial numbered on these helmets was this front window here that threads on and off. And because they were easily removed, set down, put on another helmet, they're generally, a lot of times, they are not matching. So this particular one is in the mid 17,000 range. So all the numbers are consistent with the 1940s and more or less probably during World War II. Now, the other part of the helmet, as we kind of alluded to earlier, was it's in great original condition. Just has a beautiful look. It's got a lot of its original tinning remaining on it as well, which is a big plus on these original helmets. The 27 up here, you've got your marks and things like that. Only a few shallow working dents on the top. So this helmet was well cared for. It just has a great look, a great feel to it, and it's complete. Really, the only exception to it, there's a part on the back here, an exhaust wheel right here that is missing. On occasion, these wheels will turn up. Because of our location in the United States, we don't see too many Siebe Gorman parts, but on occasion you might see one on eBay somewhere, or we'll have a collector that will turn one up. So with a little bit of patience, one will turn up, could go right on here and make this helmet complete. But visually, while this is on display, this does not distract, doesn't look odd. It's more or less towards the back of the helmet. But overall, these helmets are the classic example of the English helmet used during World War II, and they also look great sitting next to the United States Mark V, as it was its brother during the war. So just a fantastic helmet, one that we don't get to handle very often at all. Now, as a side note, we want to mention too that we have one of our great bullhead style diving helmet display stands holding this one up, and these work perfect with the Siebe Gorman helmet. They work perfect with the Mark V as well, but they have a great look, keep the helmet on display and secure as well. Now, Nation's Attic, as we mentioned earlier, handles more authentic examples of antique diving helmets than anyone else in the world. We know how to properly pack these helmets and get them to you safely no matter where you're at. We are a full-time corporation. We're sponsoring members of the Historical Diving Society in the United States, and we have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. If you'd like to give us a call, our country code is 1, our area code is 316-371-1828, and you can also text us at that same number as well. Our email address is helmets@nationsattic.com, and our website is oldhelmet.com. Once again, my name is Don, owner of the Nation's Attic, and I look forward to talking to you.